Dark Skies coming to you live once again. Saying, wow. Wow, indeed. Yes, indeed. Oh, we back. Fired up. Yes, an entirely different show. Yes. 2 days in a row, but close to close. Very close. But check this out. We got a full show. Today, right here, right now, coming to you live from Los Angeles, we found Darkskies. And today we're talking dimensions, talking sun, talking horrors, talking stargates. Yes, indeed. It's going to be a fun show. We also going to pick up where we left off because the last part of the last show, we wanted to talk a little bit about this planet that had 3 suns, and it kind of got shut out at the end of the show. So we're gonna add that to this show. So you didn't miss nothing. That's what you get. When you deal with us. You cut out one part, and we find out, and we say, no, we ain't gonna let you get cheated. We're gonna bring it back to you. So we're gonna add that part that you missed on the last show to this show, and you won't miss a thing. So strap in, get ready. You found yourself under Dark Skies Podcast, coming to you live from Los Angeles. Late night, huh? That's an early morning. Yes, I'm having fun like I always do. I mean, this is, a beautiful thing, a beautiful life. In case you didn't know, you found yourself, under Dark Skies, beautiful podcast, worldwide. And, thanks God, for giving us the opportunity to, share some knowledge and, look over all these different, things. But first of all, before we start looking over these things, I just want to introduce myself. My name is L.C. Gurries. I'm your host. First Smoking Life is still in the building. Well, not in the building, it's actually on my laptop. So, still connected. Technology is a beautiful thing. So, you got a lot going on. I mean, like I said, we wanted to pick up where the last show left off. And, it left off when we were talking about a new planet found. And, of course, this planet had Jupiter, of course, by the nickname. But it was found. And basically, found that this new planet orbited one sun, and of course this one sun in turn orbited 2 other suns, making it for, an incredible sunset, if you're standing on the surface of hot Jupiter, of course, That's probably the last place you would want to be, considering the hot Jupiter orbits very close to its parent star. I mean, actually so close that, planet Jupiter, hot Jupiter, takes only 3 days to travel around its parent star. So I found this story, fascinating as I, went through the internet, and, I love to find space news and, especially interesting stories. And anytime I see the word 3 stars and, planet with 3 stars, it just catch my attention. Now, of course, this newly found planet, is a distant world. And, of course, hot Jupiter is not his real name. His real name, of course, is Kelt 4AB. And I repeat, is KELT 4AB. And like I said, it orbits 1 star. And this story can be found in Daily Mail online. I was checking it out and found it to be an interesting story. But like I said, Kelt 4AB orbits its parent star, and its parent star, in turn, orbits 2 nearby pair of twin stars. So if you are on the surface, of course, of Kelt 4AB, you'll be able to see, of course, the parent star, and, of course, the nearby pair stars. And, of course, their names also for them, one being Kelt, KELT 4B, and Kelt 4C. So I guess it's not really complicated. I guess they made that pretty easy to remember. So, of course, planet Kelt AB is only the 4th known planet to have, 3 stars or 3 suns. So, they also reported over the next few years the ESA's Gaia satellite will observe the triple system. So, of course, they're sending a satellite out to get a closer look at the system and, of course, try to get a better understanding, of this incredible find. So, what do we know about, hot Jupiter? Okay, well, they said that he's a gas giant and that it lies close to the parent star. So, I guess that's possible. I mean, considering it is a gas giant, I mean, it's pretty incredible that it would be that close. But they're saying that it's quite close. So they say astronomers believe that it should have formed much further away from the parent star, but this one is much closer. Because it's a planet kind of like Jupiter, and Jupiter's not like right up on the sun the way this planet is up on its parent star. But they say more than hundreds have been discovered planets, sort of like Jupiter, gas giants, but none orbits its sun as close as this particular hot Jupiter or gas giant. I guess they call it a hot Jupiter because, the gas giant comparisons. Let's see. Now, particular unusual, of course, when they talk about the close orbit of this hot Jupiter planet, and plus, the orbit, and, they said that the orbit is so close that it only takes 3 days for hot Jupiter to travel around its parent sun. So I think that's pretty crazy, And of course, they found 3 other planets similar to hot Jupiter. Of course, they had 3 stars in the system. So, But of course, this particular one, if you want to look it up, is KELT-4AB. And like I said, it was known to have 3 sons. And it's cool. They have a picture, artist rendition of probably what it would look like to stand on the surface of hot Jupiter and look out as one of the 3 suns set and 2 hang over the horizon. It's pretty incredible. I mean, I love art, so, the artist rendition, the imagination of an artist, imagining what it would look like, on hot Jupiter as the sun set. Of course, though, you definitely wouldn't want to be on hot Jupiter as no sun is setting, considering it is so close to its parent sun that you probably would fry. Because like I said, hot Jupiter is so close to its parent sun that it only takes 3 days for it to orbit around its sun. So that is very incredible. And another thing is they also have down at the bottom of the story, they say how the multi-star system is reminiscent to the multi-star system on the fictional planet Tatooine in the movie Star Wars. I don't know if you remember that in the movie they had a scene where, the suns were setting on Tatooine. And, you can see a picture, of course, of that also on the page. And I think that's pretty cool of how long ago in a galaxy far away, or just so long ago, when a person was thinking and making and imagining, the ideas for this movie, and he was thinking of a galaxy far away, he thought of Tatooine, and he thought of a planet with a multi-star system as one sun sets and the other sun hangs on the horizon, preparing to set. And so long ago this movie was made, and now that we are finding multi-star systems, where you have a planet with, multiple stars, and, you get to, like I said, sun setting, 3 suns in the sky. So I think that's an incredible find. And like I said, they said it's the fourth of its kind, found, so there's, 3 other planets known, to have the 3 stars. Maybe the other 3 are more hospitable, a little bit farther away from their parent star, where maybe one of us can one day make it to it and be able to enjoy the beautiful triple sunset. The science is beautiful, I'm telling you. Every time, I get to read about these stories, it just gets more and more exciting to, see how large the galaxy is, how beautiful it is, and just, how much it is to learn. You have to understand when you talk about black holes and, supermassive black holes, and, we just got a lot to talk about, people. We just got a whole lot to talk about. But before I just get into that, I will take my break, and I'll be right back. You're listening to Dark Skies Live. And, hey, it's a beautiful world, beautiful life, beautiful universe. I believe it's, intelligence, order to all of this. And I'm starting to see it. I hope you are too. You're listening to Dark Skies Live from Los Angeles, California.
My love must be a kind of blind love. I can't see anyone but you. Just don't know if it's cloudy or bright. I only the moon may be high, but I can't see a thing in the sky.
Listening to Darkskies, Los Angeles, California. See, what's happening is everything's coming together all at the same time. I mean, we're starting to see things, much more clearly, but still not clearly enough. Now, you have to understand, when we talk about time, space, humans' understanding of time and space, we look at time, as linear, okay? But you have to understand that time is a perception, a human's perception. I mean, how many times does the earth go around the sun? How many times does the earth spin as it goes around the sun? Okay, you're counting, But I always understood that it didn't make sense to have a count up if you didn't start from day one. Why start counting up, at day 1,000,000,006 or 11,000,012. I mean, and that's day one. I mean, what happened to all those other days? That's what I'm saying. There's a lot missing. You can't start counting until you know where the first day was. And, I don't even know if that's possible. A lot of people say, okay, trace it back to the Big Bang. But then what was before the Big Bang? And it's just, people say nothing. I mean, but that just doesn't explain it correctly to me. Doesn't make sense. I mean, there's so much. There's so much out there. And I just want to understand it better. Because you have to understand that as we talk about time and space, and we talk about dimensional portals, and we talk about stargates, and, we talk about CERN and what's going on in Geneva, Switzerland, and trying to understand the science behind, what they're trying to recreate and what they're possibly trying to do or what people think they're trying to do. And also talk about, the past, on the past show when we was talking about Planet X and the coming of the Destroyer. And, now we're talking about, CERN and the opening of portals or possible Stargate technology, ancient technology. What? Not new technology? Not imaginary technology? Like, we make movies and say, oh, we can imagine this, in a movie, but this can never be in real life. And the next thing you know, you say, okay, well, dang, now this isn't real life. It's possibly being done today. And okay, well, what does this all mean? Does fantasy become reality? Or is art, mimicking reality? I mean, it's hard. Or is it vice versa? Reality mimicking art? I don't know. It's just, it's almost beyond comprehension, because if you're looking at it from one way, from a closed-minded, view, you're saying, okay, well, none of this stuff is possible because, I don't see it. Well, how come you don't see the pyramids, How come you don't see the pictures inside of it? I mean, how come you don't take those more literal? When you see pictures of giants, you see pictures of contraptions, you see just the pyramid itself. And I have to understand that technology had to be used. I mean, there has to be intelligence involved. When you look at the stars and you look at the heavens, you look at the movement of the stars, and then you say, okay, our ancestors had a knowledge beyond knowledge, sight beyond sight. I'm able to see, with open eyes. And when people say I can see with open eyes, I mean, you have to understand that's far more than just walking down the street and not walking into a wall. I mean, it's like looking up at the sky and seeing the sky move and understanding which way the earth is spinning and understanding which stars are going to, present themselves next and what order. And if they change in order, you see it. And just to understand just your place. In the center of the Milky Way lies a supermassive black hole. I don't think you understand that. The force of, this is not even nature, this is beyond nature. I mean, this is cosmos, cosmic power, universal. All these galaxies out there just floating around. We're just one planet going around, one star. And we're starting to understand better, the movement of these stars, but, come on. The Milky Way has so many stars. And like I said, we're only one galaxy. One galaxy and so many other galaxies. And you just see them out there. Okay, well, how would you possibly travel all these galaxies? Well, you have to understand the manipulation of time and space has been done for probably millions and millions and millions of years. Probably billions of years, who knows? I mean, obviously the technology was there long, and we're only rediscovering what's already been discovered. Probably, who knows, eons ago. And you look at it, I mean, you see the word Stargate, you see the word portal, you see the word, Hadron Collider. And, you just try to understand, what are the sciences behind this, the colliding the particles, to looking for the God particle, and just trying to understand, how to manipulate time and space, how to, travel great distances by opening portals, by bending time and space, to walk through basically a hole or move through a hole and end up, billions of light years away, on different planets, in different galaxies, far away, but just traveling in an instant, star walking, not strapping a rocket to your back and trying your best to make it to the next, planet, but just to walk there, to manipulate time and space. Is it even possible? I mean, when you look at what's going on over, in, Geneva, Switzerland, and a lot of people have different opinions. Now, okay, you look at some of the strange reports that I did on CERN recently, about the lit up clouds and trying to understand, what was causing that. And then, we look at, different anomalies that are happening all over the planet, whether it be weather, whether it be, the light in the sky, and just trying to find out, what's happening. Is time and space really being bent? And if so, it's like a door, right? If you can go through it, but also something can come here. And you always hear about the approach of, or the coming of the destroyer. So, and of course, when you talk about science, they talk about Shiva, and Shiva also has another name, also the destroyer. So, I don't know, it's just always parallels being connected here and there. And it's like, I don't know what it all means, but it just, like, to me, it's just a bunch of pieces of a puzzle, and if it fit, you just put it in its place, and, you just keep looking for the next piece until you can have it all there in front of you, presented, the whole picture, Will CERN open a Stargate? Or is it a Stargate technology? Or is it just what they said, they're just doing regular science? Or all those big lights above them, just lights. I don't know. I just don't believe what everybody tell me. I just have to look, see, try to research, learn as much as I can, but, it's hard to be in the dark, you know what I mean? That's why I call this Darkskies Podcast, because, we're in the dark, the skies are dark. They're not, except for over Geneva is lit up. But, what's really going on, What type of technology, what type of wizardry is CERN actually, conjuring or working up? I mean, I do a lot of research on it, and, I love science, and I do a lot of support of science, but at the same time, I also like to understand a little bit of what's going on. Now, we talk about, particles moving at almost the speed of light until they collide. And I don't know. Talk about small black holes being made, and they only exist for a few moments, so they say. I don't know. Some say black holes are possible. You can, something could travel through it. I don't know. It's just crazy. Just trying to figure out, what does it all mean. But I know it means something. I mean, we have to ask questions. Now, a lot of people, have intelligent answers, A lot of people from CERN, actually, have Twitter accounts, and they do have websites, and they do try to their, best to explain in layman's terms, the sciences behind their Large Hadron Collider, and of course, all of us are definitely not on the intelligence level of, the scientists that are working there. So I can understand their frustrations when they're trying to explain, in the most simplest terms, what they're trying to do, and we're not comprehended. Or maybe they're just saying something, and we're looking at what's going on, and it's not adding up, and we're just wanted to add up, because some of the smartest people on earth is standing on stage saying, hey, 4 plus 4 is 5. And you're saying, huh? 4 plus 4 is not 5, man. It's not adding up. But you want to believe and understand exactly what they're trying to display. But, it's just hard. Especially when all the evidence is pointing towards, hey, it looks like a Stargate. Or, okay, forget that it looks like a Stargate, but, hey, when you start talking about what you're doing, perhaps, if it was possible to make a Stargate, then that's probably what they would do. They would, collide particles together and try to open miniature black holes so someone could possibly walk through it, or who knows. I mean, that's just what conspiracy theorists all around the world, are thinking this, but I don't know. Maybe they're just crazy, but at the same time, it's your job to make people not wonder, so you have to do a better job of trying to explain what you're doing. Because right now it looks like you're trying to open a Stargate and bring forth the destroyer. Now, that's not what I'm saying you're trying to do. I'm just saying that's what people were saying that you're trying to do, and if you're on the outside looking in, that's what you look like you're trying to do. I mean, I always post pictures of, the Hadron Collider, because I think it's cool and I like the way it looks. I mean, it's pretty cool. A cool picture. But I guess it's far more than a cool picture. It's, it's a Hadron Collider, a large Hadron Collider. And, maybe it's more. Maybe, it's like that Stargate thing, that Loki climbed, walked through. Or that Stargate thing that, y'all remember that old movie Stargate? Or the show y'all used to watch, Stargate, the series? Come on. I mean, art imitating reality, reality imitating art. I don't know what it all means. I'm just telling you that it's crazy. And then when you think about multiple dimensions on top of dimensions, and you think about, how, some of the movies, portray different dimensions. I mean, in the Avenger movie, the first one, the, sky opened and, army was able to travel through from one dimension into our dimension and attack Earth. Alien invasion through a hole in space, time and space. So, that's one scenario that, didn't look real good for a Stargate or a hole, to be ripped through time and space. You don't want no army to come through there, but okay. Also, they got the new movie coming out, Marvel, of course, again. Doctor Strange, I was telling you, Doctor Strange has the ability to go from dimension to dimension, but in the movie they introduce, multiple dimensions, and, you'll get to see, layers of dimensions on top of dimensions, and it'll be interesting. I really can't wait till that movie to come out, because I want to see, how they display and how they show, the difference in between, like, our dimension, and from the very next dimension, or the next one after that, or after that, and so forth. I'm really interested to see how they do that, because, it's like a whole different universe, like galaxy, but it's just a different dimension. It's like right next door to us, and then next door to us, it is another dimension, like a book, with pages laying on top of another page, with another page, and another page, and another page. So, I don't know, I think it's fascinating when you think about multiple dimensions, and then you think about, oh, wait a minute, CERN is trying to open a door to another dimension. So, I don't know. You just think it is so crazy. And then you see the big lightning cloud above, Geneva. And, it starts to, get a little scary, because you start to think that, is any of this stuff really, really possible? You don't want to wake up one day and, hell, there really is a hole above the city or above the planet, and, God knows what is coming through. I mean, so, I don't know. I mean, but I do like to research it because I find it fascinating, and I think that there's far too many connections for, some of this stuff to not be true. So, I believe that there's some truth. Some of it, I guess, maybe is way out. But can you imagine if the way out part is really true? I mean, we're so close-minded, and we think that, hey, man, it can't be other dimensions, or there can't be stargates, or, you know, they can't be pyramids then, you know, things right before our eyes, you know, they can't be an asteroid belt, you know, they can't be a moon. There's just so many things, so many just, you know, humans are like little detectives, and we're looking at clues around us, and we want to find out the answer to these mysteries, you know. So, you know, we look up at the stars, you know, we're looking at what CERN doing over in Geneva, Switzerland. You know, we're looking at the lights above CERN. You know, why the sky lighting up. You know, we're looking at the Norway spiral. We're looking, you know, just at all of these things, and we're trying to, you know, put it all together and trying to understand, you know, what's really happening, you know. And as, you know, multiple dimensions is starting to be introduced more to us, and more scientists are becoming more open to the possibility of it being multiple dimensions, dimensional creatures then, right? You know, we will be multiple dimensional creatures as well if we start opening stargates and walking through them and ending up in other dimensions that will make us interdimensional beings as well. So you have to take that into consideration. But you also have to think about, you know, were our ancestors multidimensional beings? Or were our ancestors in contact, or are we still in contact with multidimensional beings? It's just, you know, opens so many doors and possibilities, and it makes you want to learn more. Because, like I said, if you continue to live life the way it is, I mean, to me, that's boring. I want to know more. I want to know more about where we came from. I want to know more about where we're going. What's the possibilities? What can we become? You know? And are we going to be the last ones to know that, you know, that what we were meant to be? Or will we never get a chance because we were too blind to open our eyes to see? Who knows? I know that I'm going to keep looking, keep digging, because I want to know. And I know the people who listen to this podcast want to know as well. I mean, it's important. It's important to all of us. So I guess each and every one of you who find this interesting, you know, I guess you have to, you know, take it upon yourself to learn and teach, you know, and educate the ones who have not seen yet. Like, yeah, you know, that, you know, this is a very old planet, and that, you know, man has a place, you know, far beyond this, and that every ancient structure on this planet teaches that there's more than meets the eye, as above, so below. It's incredible, you know. I'm like, wow, as I'm looking at all this stuff and all this information, and it's all coming, and it's just inside of your head. It's just bits and pieces, I guess. It's never all, but it's just a bunch of just incredible information, but incredible amount too. It's a lot, I'm telling you. You know, when you start thinking about, okay, the bending of time and space, okay, being able to travel from here to another galaxy, another galaxy, and, you know, to be on a planet, you know, circling a star, and, you know, a galaxy, you know, who knows how far away, you know, because, you know, distance has no existence. Once you can manipulate time and space, you can just move through time and space without time existing, you know. So I guess, you know, to me and you, a person like that would seem to exist forever, because, you know, as they be here for a moment, they could be in another galaxy in just less than a second as they travel, you know, through either wormholes or stargates, or however they would manage to do it. They would just step through or move through and come out on the other side. And, I can't imagine no time passing. And of course for us, by the time they come back, there'll probably be a different generation here. Probably 100 years have passed. Maybe even more. Maybe come back and, maybe we're off, maybe we're gone. Who knows? I think it's incredible though. But, yeah, we up late and we're trying to understand exactly what's happening, and like I said, I'm excited, very, very excited, about some of the findings, and especially when it comes to some of the research on Planet X and parallel solar systems, parallel stars, 3-star systems. I mean, we're discovering so many things. Possibility of Planet X moving in. Is it a good thing? Everything seems to be coming together. And, when you see all these UFO sightings, and I haven't even gotten into that. It's been a lot. And we're going to cover some of that, new and old. It's just, I'm telling you, it's a lot to cover. But, hey, we're trying to keep up. And, like I said, lots of research. Every time these stories come up to me, I have to dig, and I have to, really hunker down and try to get as much information, I can on these subjects. CERN is a subject that I cover a lot because I believe what they're doing is incredible, but at the same time mysterious. I want to find out exactly what it means to us, what they're doing, and will it affect us all. So I do want to continue to follow that. Like I said, we're going to continue to do stories on Planet X. I got some more stories coming up on the pyramids. Also, stories on, what's above. And like I said, I also love to draw these parallels of what we're seeing, in real life and what we see like in movies or television shows, or what we see in old movies, and how it's come to fruition like today, and how we can expect to see some other things that we've seen, come to fruition, like artificial life or artificial intelligence, and, human hybrids. We've been doing a lot of research on that, and I'm telling you, there's some crazy stuff out there. So we got some shows coming up, a whole lot of them. So stay with us, and the human hybrid show, I'm telling you, they have human-animal hybrids, and they said alien-human hybrids, and all of this is supposed to exist today. And they said that there are bases, they exist all around the world where, genetic experiments are being done. So, man, I'm really excited about some of the stuff that we're working on, and I just want y'all to, stay with us, because it's quite a journey trying to put it all together. But for now, I'm going to call it a night. I'm your host, L.C. Grace. Malcolm X still up. So he's about to check out. Of course, if you missed the show live, we're late tonight recording. You can always catch the show on demand, Spreaker.com. Thanks God, for giving us a platform where we can share what we learned, and like I said, hopefully get a little attention on some, mysterious and strange subjects. But we do have fun covering them. So, like I said, feel free to download the show or listen to the show on demand. It's all on me. I done paid for it. It's out of my pocket. I guess I'm my own sponsor, huh? Well, I sponsor the community, y'all. I do this for y'all. This is y'all show. I love you all. Thanks for listening. Like I said, we've been listening to Darkskies live from Los Angeles, California. From the Bay to LA. What's up, San Jose? Love you, Chicago. Hey, there you go, France. Alright, y'all. Thanks for listening. And I'm out. Space. You don't even need no rocket. No rocket into space. Anything can happen. Be smart. Open that gate and walk through. Be there in a second.